Caravengers, assemble and welcome back to another video on Marvel Snap. So I've been spending more than 11,000 credits, which I saved up to increase my collection level from 485 to 801 pretty much overnight. And in this video I want to show you which cards I unlocked, what my thoughts are about Pool 3 and the beginning of Pool 3, and also why I did this. Alright, let's jump in. Alright guys, so as soon as you enter Pool 3, the game will probably become very frustrating. And that's mainly because of the way the matchmaking works in this game. So usually it tries to match you with other players who are at your collection level and also in your rank. But if the players aren't available because there aren't enough players playing this game, you could get matched with a bot, which are generally relatively easy to beat, but you could also get matched with players who have a much higher collection level than you. And that's because this information is not confirmed, but there seems to be some kind of hidden MMR. MMR meaning matchmaking rating. So you seem to have some kind of ELO or matchmaking rating in the background, and the game recognizes how good you are playing, what your stats are, winning and losing and stuff like that. And they could match you with other players who are at your MMR, but are much further in the collection level advanced than you are. So this is why as soon as you enter Pool 3, you could get matched with players who have access to much more and much stronger Pool 3 or even Series 4 and Series 5 cards than you have since you just entered Pool 3. And this is why I saved up 11,000 credits and spent them pretty much all overnight from 485 on. And this is no coincidence, because as soon as you enter 486, you will be in Pool 3 and could possibly get matched with all kinds of different decks, and you have to consider so many different options, while your options are so limited to Pool 1 and Pool 2 cards. And what I did was I stopped climbing, I stopped upgrading my cards at 485. I was matched with Pool 3 players occasionally, but mainly it was Pool 1 and Pool 2. So I was easily able with my Pool 2 decks to climb in ranks over infinite, above infinite, and collect all the rewards while still collecting all the credits and saving them up until over 11,000. I did a similar thing in Pool 1, from Pool 1 to Pool 2, but when I was in Pool 1 I could only save up 5,000 credits because it wasn't possible to get more. In the meantime, the developers upgraded this, so it's now possible to save up up to 10,000 credits via missions, and then you can even get more than 10,000 via other rewards like here in the season pass and stuff like that. So that's how I did it. And I now want to show you which cards I unlocked, what decks I plan to build in the near future, and which Series 4 and Series 5 cards I want to get in the future. So as soon as you arrive at collection level 500, you will unlock this token shop here, and it will rotate through different cards of Series 3, which are essentially Pool 3 cards, also Series 4 and Series 5, which are very rare and very hard to get. Series 3 cards cost 1,000 collector tokens, Series 4 cards cost 3,000 collector tokens, and Series 5 cards, which are the latest cards, cost 6,000 collector tokens. You can pin the cards, so when they are pinned, they don't expire here, and it won't rotate any further until you unpin them or buy them, and then will it rotate again. So this is very important to keep in mind. In my opinion, it's not worth it to buy Series 3 cards because they are essentially Pool 3 cards and you will unlock them pretty easy over time with your collection level. But Series 4 and Series 5 cards are kinda hard to get, and there is one Series 4 card I actually want. And You will understand this as soon as I show you my deck, but I wanted to talk about this first. So the first card I was shown in my token shop as soon as I reached collection level 5 was actually Null. And Null is the latest card at the moment when I record this video, is a Series 5 card. I pinned him first, but then I unpinned him because I don't really have the options to play Null. Null is a very strong card, but very limited, and I don't have the options to play him now. So instead, I want to wait until She-Hulk is available here. She-Hulk is a Series 4 card, she is pretty strong, and I could instantly buy her for 3000 collector tokens, and I will probably do so. So as soon as She-Hulk is here, I will either buy her or pin her and think about if I want to play her. There is one last thing to keep in mind about Series 4 and Series 5 cards, which I want to share with you now. So as the developer stated, Series 4 cards consist of 10 cards and Series 5 cards consist of 6 cards, and those numbers will not change. And as soon as a new card comes out, it will enter Series 5, and then the oldest Series 5 card will drop down to Series 4, and the oldest Series 4 card will drop down to Series 3. So over time, all the cards in Series 4 and Series 5 will become very accessible over collection level, but if you want the cards sooner, you would have to buy them here in the shop, for example via collector's tokens. And now we will talk about the cards I already unlocked, and those are here. Those are my recent cards. We have Venom, who was my very first card in Pool 3. Then we have Polaris, Deadpool, Mysterio, Gambit, Drax, Mr. Negative, Maximus, Captain Marvel, Human Torch, Crossbones, Doctor Doom, Nick Fury, Wave, Ghost Rider, Death, Wasp, Arrow. In the meantime, I upgraded some Lizard, and then Crystal. So, I consider myself extremely lucky that I've got some key cards, which are, for example, Mysterio, Maximus, Polaris. Captain Marvel could also be considered as a key card under certain circumstances. Doctor Doom is pretty strong. Wave, Death, and Arrow. Those are, I would say, for now, the most important key cards for the decks I want to build in the near future. And this is alright. So let's talk about those cards. As you can see by Death, Arrow, and Wave, also maybe Venom and Deadpool, and even Mysterio, I could build the Infamous Death Wave deck. So that's the reason why I want to buy She-Hulk as soon as she is available, because She-Hulk is a very important part of the Infamous Death Wave deck, which consists mainly of cards like Death, Arrow, Wave, and then basically She-Hulk and some self-destruction cards. So the idea is that you destroy your own cards and or opponent cards, and then Death basically becomes 0 cost because her effect reads costs 1 less for each card destroyed this game, which is very strong, as you can imagine. And usually what you would do is, like in turn 5, you would play Wave, then your She-Hulk will pretty much be only at 2 energy cost, for example, or 3 or something like that, and then you could play Death, She-Hulk, and another 4 or maybe even 5 cards, depending on how you manage your energy cost. So this is a very strong deck for turn 6, but as I said, I'm missing She-Hulk. As soon as I get her, I, of course, will try out this Death Wave deck, not because it's meta, but because I played a Destruction deck in Pool 2, for which I created a video. It was off meta, but I still had a lot of fun playing around Bucky Barnes and Carnage and stuff like that, and also Deathlock. So those cards are all part of Death and Wave. And then Arrow, Mysterio would be a part of it. Maybe even Venom, we will see, but those are cards I really, really want to play in the near future. Then, I also got cards for a discard deck, which are Gambit and Ghost Rider. But my problem here is that discard decks don't really work well without Dracula and of course Hela. So I still need Dracula and Hela. I don't know if I would buy them if I saw them in the shop. Probably not, because as far as I know they are Pool 3 or Series 3, so they are not worth buying. But as soon as I unlock them, I will probably try a discard deck revolving around Gambit, Ghost Rider, then of course Hela and all the other cards which are discard and are even a part of all of this. So those are basically my two options to build decks around in the near future, but of course they are still missing very important key components. Otherwise those decks aren't really that strong. Like, I tried the Death Wave deck, but I'm missing She-Hulk. I would love to try a discard deck, but I'm missing the very important cards for it, which are Dracula and also Hela, and there could even be implemented cards like Colleen Wing, Moon Knight, stuff like that. So it was very hard for me to enter Pool 3 and having so many strong cards, but not being able to build good decks around them with some synergy. Fortunately, I unlocked Dr. Doom, who is now my saving grace here in Pool 3. Otherwise, I would go down very, very quickly. And I was able to build a functional deck around Dr. Doom, and I'm so happy about it, and I call it Storm of Doom. I will introduce you to this deck in my next deck guide video, and also I still have a Pool 2 deck I want to show you, which I used at the end of Pool 2 before I entered Pool 3. It's very strong, it revolves around ongoing effects and spectrum, and it's also viable in early Pool 3. So if you are in my position, where you didn't even save up enough credits to maybe get lucky at your like 10th pull or something like that, where you unlock cards like Dr. Doom who are pretty much plug and play, then you have a big problem. Like when you start with Venom, Polaris, Deadpool, Mysterio, you can't really build decks around those cards and your Pool 1 and Pool 2 cards, so it's pretty hard. Then you could still build and play this deck here and upgrade it over time. So I have 2 deck videos coming up soon, Pool 2 Spectrum and also my Pool 3 deck Storm of Doom, which I am playing now. And then as we go on, I will unlock She-Hulk, I will show you my version, or at least the version of the Death Wave deck, which is around for a time, but maybe I can tweak it a little bit to make it my version, and maybe even Deadpool decks in the near future and also discard decks. I also want to try them too, but that's of course a topic for another video. So before we wrap it up, there is one last thing I want to talk about, which is actually the Season Pass. And I bought the Black Panther Season Pass, as you can see on my profile picture. And I did this mainly for content creation reasons. So I don't believe in pay to win, but I believe in having some options to work with for creating content to show you. So as soon as I hit rank 50 here in the Season Pass, I will buy this Season Pass to unlock Silver Surfer, and then I will soon be able to build some early Silver Surfer decks. The most important component here would be the Brute, which I hope to unlock soon too, and then I will show you some Silver Surfer decks. And I also have access to Black Panther, so maybe as soon as I unlock cards like Wong, I will also be able to improve my Silver Surfer deck and even show you some Black Panther, Wong, Odin shenanigans. So keep in mind that all the cards you can buy here in the Season Pass will end up in Series 5, so they will be hard to get for a very long time. After they enter Series 5, they can rotate through the shop here, so you can buy them here for collector's tokens, but those are very rare. They are so hard to get. I'm at 3,900 now. It looks like they are common, but the only way to get them is actually via the caches you can see here, the collector's caches, and later they are even more rare, so you can maybe drop 100 to 400 tokens here, but yeah, it could be a card, it could be a variant, it could be a title, so there are so many things that could be in those caches, and it's not always the tokens, so they are actually hard to get. And paying 6,000 tokens for a Series 5 card is an investment you really have to consider. So that's why I probably will buy She-Hulk in the near future for 3,000 collector tokens, so I can actually finish my Death Wave deck. And cards like Brute I can unlock via Series 3 while I climb through the collection level. And when I buy the Season Pass, I have access to Silver Surfer, and then in addition to my Death Wave deck, maybe a discard deck, I can also show you some early Silver Surfer deck gameplay, at least for my account, yeah, which is aside from that I buy those season passes to support the developers for their great game, and also to be able to create some content, because I'm a content creator. That's also a big thing, so that's why I have to keep up to a certain you know, extent. Yeah, that's why I also buy those. Alright guys, I hope I could help you a little bit, give you some clarity, and I hope I see you soon for other videos. I will probably talk about updates for this game, which the developers post on their social media, and of course even more decks and deck guides. I try to keep off meta as much as I can, but as long as my options are limited, I will have to build 1 or 2 meta decks to be able to at least always climb to infinite, so I can get my rewards here. Alright, so yeah, if you liked what you saw, leave a comment. I will read every comment, I will reply to every question you have. Leave a thumbs up or even subscribe for more, and I will start streaming live on Twitch very soon. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you soon, guys.